People are always saying what Black America's got and ain't got, but ain't did a Google search. And sometimes the loudest people are committed to not even acknowledging Black Americans' existence, but are somehow experts on what we do and do not have. And some of them are Black Americans that grew up around other folk and put other people's cultures above ours. I heard about the person saying Black Americans love the haka because we don't have anything like that. This person ain't never been in nobody's black church. The ring shout, stomping, clapping, tambourine playing, the blues. There are plenty of things that activate something in our people. The main reason people are not comprehending that you are experiencing Black American culture at all times is that since the beginning of time, it has been rebranded as American culture. And because you do not know the history of this country, you think the majority created it. I watched that video where the young lady had just got done seeing Wicked and talked to the guy afterward and made the realization about how the majority sees power as authority and not activity. If you look at the history of clear supremacy, the patriarchy, and many other systems, you will see that they are not about being great. They are about being mediocre and then pushing other groups down so that your mediocrity looks like greatness. So if their version of power is not about activity, whose actions do you think are responsible for the greatness of this country? Black Americans. And now that social media and our proximity to each other is about to craft a global culture, who do you think is going to be at the forefront of that? Us. Sometimes maybe Black Americans are so welcoming because we oftentimes think that inviting everyone into our space is going to garner the respect that we want, but they honestly would probably respect us more if we put up boundaries and told them that they couldn't do the things that we allow them to do and hype them up to do. And as Black Americans continue becoming more American than Black and losing all of our recipes, we are not operating in our greatness to its full capacity. Folks don't got no oil. There's so many aspects where people are so concentrated on the theatrics when the old school version was concentrated on the musicality and the effect that the audience was having from the performance. Look at Gregory Hines, Sammy Davis Jr. versus some of the more current tap dancers. Yes, they have great moves, but they're more concentrated on the complexity of the moves than the feeling and the rhythm. Take a look at gospel today. Everybody is so overrun with runs that you can't even understand the song half the time because they run into it the whole dang on song. Yes, people are enjoying all these runs, but some of that old time stomping and clapping and singing and sustaining notes and not having to run and do all these roller coasters was having a bigger impact and going to the depths of our hearts and souls more than all these theatrics. If you take some of these popular organ players right now, they are playing more for the other musicians on the stage than the people in the crowd. Sometimes you listening to them play the organ and you can't even hear the song that is being played. Some of this musicality needs spacing and breath for it to land. You don't need to be fitting every note in a 4-bar measure. Even if we come down to the TikTok dances, you have people who are willing to post TikTok dances of them doing the most basic moves poorly, and then we're hyping them up. And back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, you had people going all out and dancing, and now it's just people doing the bare minimum, and we're hyping that up. People don't got no oil. So because a lot of our stuff is being diluted, you can't even see the similarities to the continent or to even when we first got here to even the 1920s to even the 1960s and 70s because y'all diluting everything so much, trying to make it palpable for the other people to consume. What's understood don't gotta be explained. And let me give you a little insight to why people are always mad at us. Picture this. Imagine being a non-Black American. And when I say Black American, I mean enslaved in the United States of America. Picture not being a Black American. Now imagine that you will never have the opportunity to be a Black American. Now imagine how mad that would make you feel. Do you get it now? The fact that you will never be able to have the sauce. Do you understand why they are so mad? They could never be us. They will never go to sleep and wake up and be us. Wouldn't that make you mad?